Hello, Toby. I hope your hand is healing. And hello, Angela. We're going to go over on the table on pages 107 and 108. Your classmates have done the work for you, so you can. I'm sure she says thank you, and you say
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And you just need to fill in the blanks on the table with these answers that they give you, assuming they're correct, which I think they will be. So Matthew 12, 1 through 8. Where's Jesus in this?
He went to the grain fields.
So he's in grain fields. We don't know where. Probably, possibly Galilee, but in a grain field. And what happens there?
He's plucking grains off the plants on the Sabbath.
He and his disciples are plucking grain to eat on the Sabbath, which gets Jesus in trouble again with the Jewish leaders. They rebuke him for doing that. And Jesus tells them, I can do this because I am Lord of the Sabbath.
Pleasure.
And then where is Jesus in Mark 3, verses 1 through 6?
He went to John the Baptist,
But where is he?
the wilderness. Or,
Are you reading Mark 3, 1 through 6?
I read Mark 1 through 6.
That makes a difference then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll come back to you.
He is
Mark
in
3,
the
7 through
synagogue.
12. Where is Jesus there?
He's in Galilee.
He's in Galilee. He's by the Sea of Galilee. And what's he do there?
They go to the shore or the sea, and then like Jesus heals a lot of.
He heals a lot of people there. And then Mark 3, 13 through 19. Who has that one? Is that you girls? You didn't do that one? Okay. So do that now, please. Who has Matthew 5 through 7? Okay, and where is Jesus in Matthew 5 through 7?
It says he's on the mount.
Okay, so he's on a mountain that's overlooking the Sea of Galilee, and what does he do there?
He taught sermons and gave commands and tells the story of the laws of the Jewish people.
Yeah, so he talks to the people. It's often referred to as the Sermon on the Mount. He delivers the Sermon on the Mount there. And then in Matthew 8, 5 through 13, where is Jesus?
He's in Capernaum.
He's in Capernaum, and what happens there?
He healed the servant.
He heals what?
The servant.
Yeah, he heals the servant of the centurion's servant. How does he do that?
He just spoke and he was healed.
Yeah, just healed him with a word. And Luke 7, 11 through 17, where is Jesus?
In Nain.
In Nain. And what? N-A-I-N. N-A-I-N. And what does he do there?
He raised a widow's only son.
Yeah, he raised a widow's son from the dead. And then Luke 7, 36 through 50.
He's at a Pharisee's house,
He's at a Pharisee's house.
and he forgives a woman's sins who was cleaning his feet with her tears.
There's a woman that was crying and wetting his feet with her tears and wiping it with her hair. Very shocking thing for someone to do. And he forgives her. She's a woman of ill repute. Are we caught up at this point?
Did we?
And so then Mark 3, 9,
I have-
19 through 30.
I have the 1 through 6 one.
You want to do the 1 through 6 one? Okay, so Mark 3, 1 through 6.
He's in the synagogue.
He's in the synagogue where?
Didn't say, I don't think it was Jerusalem. I just said synagogue.
Why would I ask you? Didn't
synagogue.
He's at the synagogue in Capernaum.
Yeah. It says synagogue.
And what does he do there?
He heals a man with a withered hand.
Okay, so he heals a
Sabbath.
man. Yep. With a withered hand. And when did he do that?
On the Sabbath.
On the Sabbath. So the Pharisees are angry with him again. Hannah, do you have that other one now?
He
Which
was-
one is it? Matthew,
Mark 3:13.
Mark 3:13 through 19.
He was on the mountain,
He's on the mountain.
and he calls his disciples and appoints them.
Yeah, so he calls the 12. He had other people that were following him, and he chooses from them. He had other disciples that followed him, and he chooses from them 12 to go out, and he points them to go out and to preach, to teach, and to heal. Okay, so where were we?
Mark 3:19.
Mark 3, 31 through 35,
19 through 30.
19 through 30, 19 through 30. Where is he?
His hometown.
Yeah, he's in Galilee, and probably somewhere around Nazareth, but he's somewhere in Galilee. He's in his home area anyway. And what happens there?
Jesus was healing people, and he was accused of being the prince of demons, and basically Satan, and because he casted out the demons.
Yeah, and he is questioned and rebuked by the scribes that came from Jerusalem to meet with him. He's in conversation with them. Mark 3:31 through 35.
He's in his hometown again.
He's in Galilee, somewhere in Galilee, and what happens?
His family comes, and they're like, "Your family's here," but he says whoever believes in him is his family.
Okay, yeah. That's exactly right. Matthew 4, 1 through 34. Who has that one? Did I give that to you? You guys are.
I think you said you might have. Or is that a different one?
I thought I took one of the last ones. Matthew 6, 1 through 6. Nobody has that one? Okay, somebody open up your Bibles and let's read it.
Can I read it? Again, he began to teach beside the sea, and a very large crowd gathered about him, so that he got into a boat and sat in it on the sea, and the whole crowd was beside the sea and the land. And he was teaching them many things in parables, and in his teachings he said to them, "Listen, behold, a sower went to sow, and he sowed, and some seed fell along the path, and the birds came and devoured it. Other seed fell on the rocky ground, where it did not have much soil, and immediately sprang up, since it had no depth of soil. And when the sun rose, it was scorched, and since it had no root, it withered away. Other seed fell among thorns, and thorns grew up and choked it, and it yielded no grain. And other seeds fell into good soil and produced grain, growing up and increasing and yielding 30-fold and 60-fold and 100-fold. And he said, He who has ears, let him hear. And
Okay, we'll stop there. So he is by the sea, meaning the Sea of Galilee. And he's teaching in what, Ben?
parables.
In parables. And he tells a number of parables that we know well, including the parable of the sower and the seed. Mark 4:35 through 41.
He's at the Sea of Galilee.
He's gone over to the he's going over to the other side of the sea. So he's on the Sea of Galilee, going over to the other side. And what does he do?
He calmed the storm.
He calmed the storm. Calm the storm.
It's like the same day. Did he do it the same day?
I don't know that it's the same day, but
Where is he?
It's about the same time. It follows right on the heels of those parables. Mark 5, 1 through 20. Yeah, he's in the country of the Gerasenes. These are not Jews. These are Gentiles. So he is in Gentile country when this happens. And what does happen in the country of the Gerasenes? Yeah, they cast out demons of a man who had many demons in him. In fact, when Jesus asks his name, the demon's name, he says, "My name is Legion, for there are many of us." And he casts them out, and where does he send them?
Into pigs.
Into pigs, and they go crazy and rush down the embankment and fall into the sea. By the way, we don't know exactly where the Gerasenes lived, but on the other side of the sea, on the north side, on the other side of the sea, there is a cliff that goes straight down into the Sea of Galilee. And so that might be the place where this happened. My favorite thing about this story is after the people see this man who had been chained, who had broken those chains, who had been kind of a danger to them for so long, and they see him clothed and in his right mind, they see him healed, and they were afraid of this demoniac, but now they're afraid of Jesus. And who is this guy that he can do this, that he can heal this man? And they beg him to leave. They say, "Get out of here, you're crazy more than anything we can handle." And the demoniac, that's what theologians call him, he asked to go with Jesus. And Jesus said, "No, stay here and tell everyone what God has done for you." Which made me sad the first time I read it. Like, why won't Jesus let him come? But then you go farther in Mark, and you see Jesus returns to that area, and the people come running to see him. Why? Because they know who he is. Because the demoniac did exactly what Jesus told him to. He told everyone what Jesus had done for him. Be a good example to follow, I think. So Mark 5, verses 21 through 43. Who had that one? So he goes back to the other side. He goes back to the Jewish side, and what happens?
He healed this brother's daughter, and then another woman touched his reins, and she was healed.
Right. So he heals Jairus' daughter. He not heals her, he raises her from the dead, and he heals a woman that had had a bleeding issue for many, many years. I believe the one with Jairus is the one where he says, "Talitha, get up." Talitha means little girl. And we don't know if he said little girl get up, or maybe Talitha was her name. We have a kindergartner, I think, upstairs whose name is Talitha. But it literally means little girl. And then Matthew 9, 27 through 34.
There's no specific location, it's just in Galilee. It says he's
Yeah,
at a
well,
house.
at first he's in a blind man's house, and then he's going around to cities and synagogues. But yeah, what happens there?
He heals two blind men, casts out a demon, and heals a mute man.
Yeah, so he heals two blind men. He casts the demon out of another one. And what was the last thing you said?
He heals a mute man.
A mute man. A man who could not speak. Now let's skip Matthew 6, 1 through 6 and go to Matthew 6, 6:29. Who has that one? Go ahead, Kate.
He was located among the villages, and in that story, Jesus sends out the 12 disciples to go and heal and preach, and then it discusses how John the Baptist was killed.
Yeah, so he is, where did you say he was?
Among the villages.
Yeah, he's among the villages, and he sends out his disciples 2 by 2, and he hears that Herod has killed John the Baptist. Now, somebody look at Mark 6 and read the first 6 verses of that for us, please.
He went away from there and came to his hometown, and his disciples followed him. And on the Sabbath he began to teach in the synagogue, and many who heard him were astonished, saying, "Where did this man get these things? What is the wisdom given to him? How are such great mighty works done by his hands? Is it not Is not this a carpenter, the son of Mary, and the brother of James, and Joseph, and Judas, and Simon? And are not his sisters here with us? And they took offenses at him. And Jesus said to them, a prophet is not without honor except in his hometown and among his relatives and his own household. And he could do no mighty works there except that he laid his hands on a few sick people and healed them. And he marveled because of their unbelief. And he went out among the villages teaching.
So he's in Nazareth, he's in his hometown, and he taught in the synagogue, and he healed a few people, but not many, because the people didn't believe. So you've got the rest of the hour to work on the rest of the student work. If you would please, if you don't get that done in class, then that's your homework. So if you would please finish the rest of